Hello everyone and welcome back to another TSW2 video. Today we're going to be checking out the newest article that DTG have released named Electrostar Duet, and it is about the London to Brighton route, also known as London Commuter. Before we get into the video, I'm going to ask all of you to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new to it and you haven't already. And if you would like to support the channel even further, consider becoming a channel member with the link in the description or by clicking the blue join button. Let's get into it. So, starting off, we see the Class 377 and Class 387 going down the Brighton Mainline, and it looks like the 387 is bound for London Victoria, is the 387/2. Pretty nice picture. I don't see much wrong with the 387 and the 377. The trains do look a bit big, and I've seen this mentioned on the forums and on my Discord server a couple of times that the Electrostars in TSW look rather big compared to their real life counterparts. Now, I can agree that they do look big from some of the pictures I've seen of Electrostars in real life and when comparing them into TSW, but in my opinion, it's not too big of a difference, but it is something that DTG should look out for in the future if they do decide to make another route that includes the Electrostars, maybe thinning down the car bodies a bit. So, moving on to our first few paragraphs, we have the unmistakable sounds of an approaching train are getting louder, but which one? We take a look at the magnificent electric multiple units featuring in Rush Hour London Commuter, coming soon to Train Sim World 2. This will be the last TSW Rush Hour route to be released for TSW2, following the Boston Sprinter and Dresden routes, and I'm pretty sure this is the most anticipated route for the game. Continuing with the upcoming Train Sim World 2 Rush Hour London Commuter route, you'll take control of two well-known Electrostar family units, British Rail Class 377/4 EMU in Southern livery, and the British Rail Class 387 EMU in Govia's striking Gatwick Express livery. In addition to this, you will have a plethora of additional and optional AI services that a variety of other add-ons offer. Your job will be to safely and efficiently drive these powerful units across the busy Brighton Mainline, staying on time between London Victoria and Brighton during the hectic rush hour. Let's take a closer look at both of these distinctive Electrostar units and get a better understanding of their unique features. And here we have a picture of a ton of 377s pulling out of Victoria, I believe, coming from Battersea Power Station. Not or maybe that's Clapham, I'm not really sure. This looks nice from what I see so far. I like the way the track looks with the 377s. I don't really see much of an issue here. Just the issue that they are kind of big. I don't see any destination displays on, well, I do see one with the train on the far right, and we can't see the other destination displays for two of the 377s, but that one that's in the middle, I don't see no destination display on. So I wonder if that's an issue with some of the services on the route. We'll just have to see when we see our first preview on the stream. But yeah, from what we just read, it is nice. We know that it'll include AI services. Hopefully they give us the 166, maybe a remodeled 166, adding maybe PIS or whatever, but it is a layered train. I would have expected maybe some more additions to the 166, you know, being that it's been in the game for about 4 to 5 years now, and it's lacking some of the features that some of the current trains have, like PIS, just the better sounds and the better driving mechanics and actual, you know, good physics and stuff. But we know that the game or the route will include the 465 as a layer if you do own Southeastern High Speed and its respective loco add-on, and we'll see in more pictures what else it adds. I don't want to really spoil it yet. Moving on, it says, following a successful bid in 2003, Govia was awarded an initial franchise for the line from 03 to 09 and then a subsequent franchise to this day. In 04, they chose to rebrand the previous South Central name and livery, taking inspiration from the line's pre-grouping past Govia created a... It's weird the way they worded this, but Govia created a respectful tribute in both name and design. retaining a distinctive eye-catching livery featuring green, which is synonymous with railways in the south of England, and the name Southern, a polite nod to the illustrious Southern Railway that served the route and those around it between 23 and 47. The BR Class 377 EMU and each of its subclasses were built by Bombardier Transportation at its Derby Lichard's Lane Works from 2001 to 14, and the 4-car BR Class 377/4 EMU are featured in Rush Hour London Commuter were built throughout 04 and 05. It was also featured on the East Coastway route, and hopefully we'll see some features from the new 377 make their way to the previous 377. A total of 75 377/4 EMUs were produced, making it the most numerous subclass of the BR Class 377 EMU to appear across the network. Services in Rush Hour London Commuter feature 4, 8, and 12 car trains depending on the service. And here we see actually a Class 377/1 and not a 377/4 here. And it's 377-141. So if you would like to check out that specific unit in real life and compare it to how it is in the game, feel free to do so. But we have another picture here of the train passing Battersea Power Station. It's another 377, this time a /4 unit. Looks pretty nice. I like the reflections off of the train. I don't really see too much of an issue here. Designed to replace the dated slam door stock that was undeniably at the end of its working life, the BR Class 377 EMU featured a variety of modern features for its time. All variants, including the 377/4, have the capacity to receive 750-volt DC power from the third rail, with some of its subclass cousins having the additional option of pantographs and drawing 25 kilovolt AC from overhead lines. This variety in subclasses meant that those like the 377/4, which didn't have pantographs, are left with a clear void in the roof where pantographs could be fitted. This leaves the freedom for future conversions if required. That's why we see the little empty space in the top of the train with the 377s on East Coastway and with the 375s, I believe, on Southeastern High Speed. But moving on to the next picture, we see the 377 coming across the bridge here. I don't really know what bridge that is, but it does look well modeled. I really like the modeling on the bridge. You can see kind of some of the weathering here along this part of it. Looks like a 12-car train. Real nice. Passenger and driver comforts were also fitted to these modern units. Air conditioning, external cameras, onboard toilets, and spacious areas for prams and wheelchairs were included across all subclasses and were popular amongst passengers and staff. Now let's go back to the point where it said toilets. Sam would be very happy if they did include the actual bathrooms on the train. So I really hope they did include it on the train. But here's another picture where we don't see the destination display on. And I wonder if that's an issue with the service or if they just didn't turn them on when getting these pictures. But that is a cause for concern. I know these pictures are work in progress, but we are nearing closer to the release of the route, and we need to make sure that all of these features are working. But it says, however, they weren't without their challenges. Major upgrades were required of the dated Southern Region 750-volt DC third rail power supply to facilitate the introduction of this unit. This was due to the substantially higher power consumption of each of the fully air-conditioned units. It's kind of similar to the London Underground's problem. You know, they haven't upgraded the third and fourth rail system in a very long time, so it's unable to support air conditioning on some of the tube trains, you know. But it's only really the deep level tube lines like the Victoria, Bakerloo, Northern, and Jubilee, and obviously the other ones that don't have air conditioning because of the power supply. But the Piccadilly line should be getting those in the near future. I digress though, we're not talking about the London Underground here. Here we have the Gatwick Express BR Class 387/2 EMU. So I'm assuming we might only be getting the /2 unit, which is a bit of a disappointment, but I assume that's the only unit that Gatwick Express operates. And if you would like to rebrand it to like a /1 or /3 unit, you'll be free to do that in the scenario or livery designer. But this little portal coming out of the tunnel looks pretty nice. The train gets accurately dark in the tunnel, so That's not a cause for concern. Nice little castle design when the train's coming out of the portal here. But moving on, much like their older Electrostar cousins, the BR Class 387-2 EMU was built at Derby Lychard's Lane Works. That was a mouthful. Pause. The first of this vivid 4-car unit entered service in early 2016. A total of 27 were ordered to replace the BR Class 442 on Gatwick Express services. The brilliant red chosen by Govia for the Gatwick Express livery is by far one of the most striking liveries to grace British railway networks, bringing a dose of color to the often muted background of the London skyline. I don't really know if I would consider the Gatwick Express livery striking. I think a livery I would consider more striking than this is the 707 livery for the Southeastern trains. GWR's livery on some of the 387s it has, the Heathrow Express livery. I don't really know if I would consider this a striking livery, but moving on. The Gatwick Express services are non-stop express services from Victoria to Gatwick and also continue to Brighton, stopping at only a handful of major stations compared to that of their southern counterparts. So, you're going to be stopping at more stations on the southern services than with the Gatwick Express services because obviously it is an express train stopping at less stations. It's clear and obvious why you're going to be making less stops with this train. My only thing is, I hope, maybe not I hope, but I wonder if they are going to include the pandemic timetable with the 387s, because Gatwick Express has been stopping at more stations during the pandemic, so I wonder if they'll layer these 387s onto East Coastway and simulate that, or if it'll just be the same and based on the 2019 timetable. With a top speed of 110 miles per hour, which is 177 kilometers per hour, and the freedom to combine multiple 4-car units into 12 and 8-car trains, the BR Class 387/2 EMU is the perfect unit for fast regular services with plenty of space for commuters. Seems like somebody wasn't using Grammarly while writing this article because right after 8 and 12 car trains there should be a comma there, but I'm not the grammar police. Although built with dual voltage capability, I lost where I was. Capability, the BR Class 387/2 EMUs receive 750 volt DC from the third rail whilst running on the Brighton Mainline. I apologize for all of the pauses and stutters here. This is how I record my videos usually. It takes a lot of takes when recording a script. But moving on, we have, I believe this looks like Brighton. And we have a Class 387/2 just laid up here. Looks like it's gonna go on its journey to London Victoria, departing very, very soon. Let's click on the picture. It looks really nice, you see the well-modeled 387. The destination display is working properly. You can see the PIS screens all working. It says London Victoria calling at Gatwick, and London Victoria formed of 12 coaches and Gatwick Express service. And you have the time and the time of departure and the platform. I really hope they've included space for the Thameslink services. It would be nice to see some Electrostar Thameslink services. We don't have the Class 700, but it would be nice to substitute those with some Thameslink Class 387s, but whatever. I'll just make my own Thameslink livery when DLC releases. And here we have another picture, this time of the cab of the 387. Now, I've seen some comments on the cab, and I share my concerns with all of you. The cab window looks a bit small. Now, I don't know if that's just because of the angle the picture was taken, because it looks like it's a little angle to the left and not straightforward, but the cab does look rather small, and I'm not sure if this is how small the 387s do look, but it looks smaller than the 377s. Might just be like perception or something, but I don't know. But the cab is pretty much the same with a few minor differences. The DRA on switch is different. You don't push it and pull it. It's now a switch that you turn left and right for off and on. I don't see a speed selector anymore. I just see the TPWS override, normal suppression, all of that stuff, door close, interlock, all of the usual. But it's weird that these screens aren't on. You know, this will be your PIS screen that you will be able to select your PIS on, and this will be your camera screen. This hasn't worked in TSW yet. I hope it does work in the future on certain and select routes, but it doesn't work in the game yet. But I would have expected at least one of these screens to be turned on. This new generation of ElectroStar units includes modern features such as onboard Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and the latest automated passenger information boards in several languages, perfect for those visiting from across the world and arriving at Gatwick Airport. Now obviously this is just for the article, you know, and showing what the train does include in real life, like the Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and automated passenger information boards. Now, I wouldn't say look forward to seeing like automated passenger information announcements or PIS boards on the inside of the train that work properly. I wouldn't say look forward to that because we know as DTG, they won't add certain things that they deem quote unquote unnecessary or unfeasible to add to the route or the train. And you can't expect some things to work like turning on the air conditioning. You know, you could turn it on the current 377, but it doesn't really make a sound like it does on the BR423. Let's click on this picture because there's something interesting about this picture that I want to show you. You see the Gatwick Express train. I believe this has either 8 or 12 cars. See one lined up in a depot here. But we zoom into Brighton, right? You have the East Coastway line that branches off there. But if we zoom into Brighton, you see a couple of interesting things, right? 387, 387, 377, 377. Oh, what's that? That's a cheeky little 313 back there. Now, a lot of people may not have noticed that, but if you zoom in, that is a class 313. The train that hasn't been released yet for TSW, so it is a little preview as to what the train will look like in the game, and now we know that it's confirmed. That train will be on this route if you own the 313 DLC. It will appear as an AI train that will probably run off map to East Coastway, to the East Coastway branch, or it'll probably run off map to the West Coastway branch as well, and you'll probably be able to drive it as far as Hove, if anywhere. And then we see a nice little class 09 here, might run some freight services on the route. But that's a nice thing to know that the 313 will be included. I hope it's included on console as well, just as a little Easter egg or AI service there. But we won't know until they give us that information. The highly detailed and fully licensed Southern BR Class 377/4 EMU and Gatwick Express BR Class 387 EMU feature in this exciting upcoming rush hour London commuter route, giving you the choice of busy local passenger and fast-paced express services, commuter express services, and everything in between. Rush Hour London Commuter is coming to Train Sim World 2 on Xbox One, Xbox Series, PS4, PS5, the Epic Games Store, and Steam. It will be available to purchase separately or in the Rush Hour season ticket, yada yada yada. But that was a nice article. It's nice to see all of these pictures of the Brighton Mainline. I'm glad that they're showing us more of these pictures of the route, and I'm glad that we're just seeing more, you know, seeing more of what they developed, and we're getting closer to the release of the route. You know, they showed off some more pictures during the roadmap stream. They showed some pictures off a little earlier in the week or last week, and I made a video on that. And now we're getting more videos, more pictures, and you're getting more videos from me on this route. And you can look forward to more videos on the London Commuter route in the near future. I'll be making a what you should know video for the route, and I'll probably be making more of these videos based on the articles that they release for the route, so be on the lookout for that. If you're excited for the London Commuter route, hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to become a channel member if you would like to support the channel even more. Remember, it's the join button down below, and in the description there's a link where you can join. If you would like to support the channel out even more, consider doing that. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Be on the lookout for more of these, and thanks for watching. Peace.